to the 2021 Business Insurance Innovation Awards. My name is Keith Kenner, publisher of Business Insurance. Our Innovation Awards recognizes leadership, inventiveness, and ingenuity in product, services, and design for risk management professionals. We're celebrating our 12th consecutive year of Innovation Awards, and we are delighted to have you with us. Again, this year we received a record number of nominations. We believe this is not only illustrative of the value of the award within the industry, but also shows the increasing importance technology and innovation play in providing real working solutions for risk management professionals and their companies. So, a special congratulations to our 2021 Innovation Award winners.
Hello, I'm Gavin Suter. I'm the editor of Business Insurance. And before we meet our winners, I'd like to give you a little bit of background on the Innovation Awards. Now, we started the program about 12 years ago to shine a light on all of the innovative work that's going on in the insurance and risk management sector. And in that time, we've recognized more than 120 winners. And the winning entries have come from all over the insurance and risk management sector. Sometimes it's been large insurers, global brokers, big reinsurance companies, but also we've had winners from smaller companies, and especially over the past few years, from the Insurtech sector, with some companies having just a handful of employees. What they all have in common is they are producing innovative products and services designed for risk managers. One of the distinctive features of the program is that all of the entries are reviewed and scored by the people that they are designed to help, that is, professional risk managers. So we'd like to thank our panel of judges for all of the time and effort that they put in to reviewing all of the entries this year. It really was quite a time-consuming progress, so thank you very much for all of your effort. Now, encouraging and applauding innovation in the insurance sector is incredibly important as we continue to face the changing market, increased catastrophe losses, increased cybercrime, as well as the ongoing pandemic. And as you'll see from the winning entries, we had a great spread of products and services designed to help companies tackle numerous problems that they face. As Keith said earlier, you can read all about the winners in our bonus Insurtech September 21 issue of Business Insurance, which is available now. Now, we asked all of our winners to put together a short video about their winning products and services, so let's hear what they have to say about their teams and their innovations.
It's a great privilege to accept the Business Insurance Innovation Award on behalf of Tokyo Marine Kiln. I'd like to use this opportunity in particular to thank those who played a big role in the product design, from Parametrics Insurance to Howden and the Lloyd's Product Innovation Facility. Collectively, we came together to create a really exciting product for our clients, protecting them against cloud downtime and cloud outages. And we're really excited about what's on the horizon. Thank you.
Thank you for recognizing our RATHBONE Group e-Notary program with a 2021 Innovation Award. You know, notarizing affidavits used to be something we didn't think much about in the insurance industry. You'd simply go to the office next door or walk down the hall or even go to your local bank branch and you could have your documents notarized and move on with your claim. But in the midst of a global pandemic, our clients reached out and they said, how can we possibly do this? How can our reps sign these affidavits and have them notarized when they're working from home and not next door to a notary, when we're under travel restrictions to keep everybody safe? How can we get this done? And so we developed the RG Online Notary Program, whereby our clients and anybody can sign on, meet virtually with a certified notary and have their documents electronically signed and notarized in a matter of minutes with no actual face-to-face contact, keeping everybody safe and handling these documents efficiently. Thank you for recognizing our efforts to help in this small way with the challenges that have been presented to all of us in these past couple of years. I'd like to give a special thank you to my firm, RATHBONE Group LLC, for supporting me in the development of this program, as well as Renee Egan, my fellow e-notary in the firm for being my partner in assisting our clients with this endeavor. Thank you for recognizing our efforts, and we'll continue to help in every way that we can.
Hi, I'm Jamie Henry, and I'm the Director of Market Strategy within our product team at Origami Risk. I want to say thank you to Business Insurance Magazine for our 5th Innovation Award. We've designed our cloud-based software with a singular focus to partner with our clients to help them achieve their business objectives. Our inspiration comes from our clients, and through close collaboration, we're able to develop solutions to real-world problems they're experiencing or anticipating. Our ERM crowdsourcing assessment is one of those solutions. A challenge that our enterprise risk managers were facing was obtaining timely and comprehensive input from stakeholders when conducting risk assessments. Many resorted to spreadsheets, which then became a risk liability and led to manual work, was error-prone, and lacked audit trails. With our solution, we've been able to automate the process. Enterprise risk managers are able to collect multiple risk assessment scores on specific issues from various stakeholders within a department or functional area. From that collection, our solution instantly calculates an average score or provides the highest score depending on what the goal of the assessment is. This goes far beyond just allowing enterprise risk managers to turn an administrative-heavy process into an automated one. Our ERM crowdsourcing assessment supports the ever-present challenge facing risk managers in creating a risk-aware culture through inviting a variety of perspectives throughout the organization, which in turn normalizes both upside and downside risk identification and scoring. The result? Better decision-making on risk prioritization, treatment, and overall ERM adoption and performance. Thank you to our clients and Business Insurance Magazine.
Hi. First, I'd like to say thanks to Business Insurance and all the judges for giving us this award for our equipment predisposed to loss tool. It's really an honor to be acknowledged at this industry event. You know, this tool really had its creation in our client's loss history from 2018. We had looked at a couple of years of losses then and realized nearly a third of our client losses were being driven by equipment risk, specifically the gas and steam turbines, generators, and transformers. So we went to work to say, how can we live up to our idea that the majority of loss is preventable and really build client resilience from equipment losses that might happen? So we took advantage of what we do on a regular basis, sending degreed engineers to evaluate equipment risk, taking the data they collect, combining it with decades of proprietary loss data on the equipment, and building, a true black box algorithm to say, can we come up with a predictive tool? So what's it do for the clients? First, it provides them with a benchmarking. It tells them how does their equipment match up against the rest of the fleet that we insure. And it identifies how severe the risk is, how likely a loss is to occur. And lastly, it provides them with what risk improvement can they invest in to make it better on the benchmark and to ensure that they have resilience on their facilities. So in order to build this, it sort of takes a village. So I'd like to say thanks to our boiler and machinery group, our research group, our analytics team, and our product development team. But a special acknowledgement goes to the late Dr. Jens Alkamper, who really put together the predictive algorithms for this tool to be developed. So once again, I want to say thanks to Business Insurance and the judges for giving us this honor. Regards.
Hello, my name is Dorothy Doyle, and I am the Vice President and General Manager of Risk Control Services at Liberty Mutual. It is an honor to accept the Business Insurance 2021 Innovation Award for Liberty Mutual's ERGOVALUATOR. I'd like to start off by thanking our incredible team of safety engineers and our partners at Velocity for working together to bring this app to our customers. Employees are the driving force behind a company's success, and for that reason, creating a safe work environment is critical to businesses of all sizes. The first step in protecting your workforce is knowing how serious injuries happen and how to prevent them. Handling materials and objects is part of the job for countless workers, and too often this comes at a steep price, costing employers nearly $13 billion a year from overexertion injuries and costing employees their health and well-being. The Liberty Mutual ERGOVALUATOR tackles this critical issue with fast and accurate risk assessments in the palm of your hand. At Liberty, we believe in science and innovation. Traditional risk assessment tools can take hours or days to collect data and analyze a risk. But by uploading a video to our app, our partners can receive a report that analyzes a task's potential to injure employees and indicates opportunities to reduce that risk in just minutes. Liberty Mutual has been helping people live safer, more secure lives since 1912. We look forward to helping more employers pinpoint overexertion risk, protect their workers, and ultimately stem the flow of costly workers' comp claims. Thank you again for the honor of this award.
QBE North America, a global insurance leader, your partner in solving life's complicated risks. So whether you're an American farmer, homeowner, renter, mid-sized business, or somewhere in between, you can be certain QBE is with you.
As we continue dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic, especially the current Delta variant, we are missing our live events even more, especially our Innovation Award event, getting together with our winners, sponsors, colleagues, and friends. So we are taking this special opportunity to bring you a panel discussion featuring industry experts from some of our award winners, while also showcasing and learning more about all of our 2021 Innovation Award winners. Our panel discussion topic, Innovating to Resilience, will address current challenges risk managers are navigating, such as technological advancement, climate change, the COVID-19 pandemic, and economic turmoil. While organizations are now looking to build resilience into their overall operations rather than addressing each threat individually, but this is a task that is easier said than done. How can innovation create more resilient organizations? How can risk managers become an integral part of the process? We're definitely looking forward to insights to these questions during this discussion. Now sit back, relax, turn off your phones, and enjoy the 2021 Innovation Awards ceremony. Thank you for watching.
Well, I hope you enjoyed hearing from some of our award winners. And before we hear from the rest, we're going to have a discussion with a panel of experts on why organizations are increasingly focused on how to build resilience within their operations. Now, I'm joined by two executives from some of our 2021 award winners, and that's Ernie Bentley, who is President of Risk Solutions at Origami Risk, and Jaap de Vries, Vice President of Innovation, Science and Technology at FM Global. Hello, Ernie. Hello, Jaap.
Doing great. Thanks, Gavin.
Hi, well, nice to see you today. And before we start, perhaps you could just give us a little bit of background on yourselves and your responsibilities at your organization. So, Ernie, would you like to start?
Absolutely. My name is Ernie Bentley. I've been with Origami now for about 9 years, and we serve risk managers, chief risk officers, heads of compliance, and the like in using Origami to manage their insurable and non-insurable risks. My world comes from primarily on the sales side, and my job today entails all the operations that go into managing and helping those clients from a professional service standpoint, as well as sales.
Right. Yeah.
Hi, Gavin. Pleasure to be here. My background is a little bit different for someone who works for an insurance company, I guess. My academic career was mostly into gas turbine and rocket propulsion and anything that could burn and blow up. And then I was hired in 2009 by FM Global to lead some of their large-scale fire test programs. One of the favorite tests I did was finding protection for distilled spirits protection, whiskey barrels, and so forth. And in the past 4 years, I've been part of FM Global's innovation team, where we're looking not just at solutions for tomorrow, but also what we like to call the day after tomorrow. And this includes, Industry 4.0, robotics, and some of the fun topics I hope we'll be talking about today.
Great, excellent. Well, that's a great diversity of backgrounds there. So let's just jump straight into it. So organizations appear to be facing, an amalgamation of risks with the interconnection of operations and supply chains, especially over the past 18 months or so with the pandemic. What are the risk management issues that your clients are most concerned about, would you say? Would you like to start?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question. The first three that come to mind would be climate resilience. We've just had a bad storm and flood events, both in Europe actually and in the US. So I think that's top of mind on a lot of our clients. And there's a cyber risk component second. And the third is just in general about business continuity and supply chains and just being resilient facing other evolving risks. Maybe to elaborate on the cyber piece, I think we see a change now where, especially because we insure a lot of manufacturing, where we see the IT and the OT, the operational technology, information technology, kind of becoming one. So the cyber concerns now go beyond just the regular ransomware and now start to trespass into the industrial control systems as well. And of course, you can imagine a company like us that insures a lot of chemical operations and manufacturing operations. It's a concern for us and our clients, and that's something definitely to keep an eye on.
Right. Ernie, what would you say? Obviously, you're coming from a different perspective here.
Different perspective, but we see the similar things that were just talked about as well, and a lot of what we're hearing about these days have a lot to do with supply chain. COVID, the evolving pandemic continues to put a strain on our clients as well, and we see that especially with probably forthcoming regulatory requirements around vaccinations and everything with that. Obviously, using technology to help manage that best is a big part of that. But outside of that, severe weather events obviously are big. Cyber is always top of list for everybody. On top of just the normal, I should say, the macro level risks that we continue to help our clients deal with for major incidents, injuries, litigation fees, and just risk mitigation and the like as well.
Okay, so obviously these are the problems. What sort of risk management steps can companies take to address these risks?
Number one, I think it's look at the whole problem. Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped in there. Number one, I think it's get better context for better decision making. Understand what the whole problem is. Ask so what. Data is data. It's not just data. Focus on the insight that you're getting from the data. How is it actionable, and so forth? Am I getting data real time? Am I actually building workflow in my operational technology and as well as my information technology that Jaap was speaking about as well? Another point that we see as far as being able to address this, especially as you're seeing insurable and non-insurable risks come together a lot of times under a single umbrella, is understanding where the single source of truth lies. If not everybody's on the same page to agree what the problem is, it's hard to really fight it as well. And then the last thing I think we continue to see with our clients is just to avoid the temptation to look for silver bullets. These are complex, interconnected problems. Supply chain being one, cyber being another. There's not a silver bullet for these. There's a strategy, mitigation, training. There's a holistic approach that has to take place.
And you mentioned data there. I think one of the things that has become evident over the past several years is there's just this huge volume of data. You hear all these statistics about comparing the data that's available now to say, 10 years ago. How do you sift through all that data and come up with a meaningful response?
Sorry, that was for me. I'll answer that. That's a top of the list question that we get all the time. We are the amount of unmanaged data that is out there is tremendous and a huge part of what we see from our clients in managing that. I think the key is to really understand what is it that I'm looking for and put the right focus on the right parts of the data that I need to deal with. You're seeing a lot. There's obviously lots of conversation all the time around AI, machine learning. We have a number of partnerships with third-party firms that help our clients to sift through and learn that. I think we have a long way to go. I think we're just beginning to climb that mountain today.
Yeah, so from your perspective, what sort of risk management steps or advice would you give to your clients as they deal with these issues?
Yeah, it's hard to imagine the unimaginable sometimes for risk managers. So sometimes it's less likely for people to take the right steps to commit the budget for risk improvement. But let's say climate resilience, for instance, what we talked about. The moment that storm is headed your way, that's not the time to start thinking how to strengthen your buildings or how to take steps. And I think most risk managers know that. They know there are ways to strengthen your roof. They know there are ways to prevent against flood. And this, of course, comes on top of the fire and sprinklers, of course, that we always like to see in buildings. I think what might be less known for certain risk managers is that some of these solutions might be more cost effective than they imagine. And just the example of roof strengthening, just to attach the flashing better to the side of the building, which is just the cost of a few nails. Basically, we see more than 100x return on investment after a storm when people do that. And then getting back on the cyber piece, it's hard to hire talented cyber folks now for a normal salary that you. So I think it's either build a hiring cyber related skills. But also, if your organization is siloed, if your operational technology and IT departments live in different parts of the building, I think it's really now a good time to start making that connection and make sure that these different parts of the organizations start talking to each other, in particular when it comes to industrial control systems and against this whole Industry 4.0 stuff. You need people that have knowledge on both sides, so it's time to combine that. And a lot of times it exists in the building, it's just not. There's not a holistic approach. There's not a lot of communication happening between those silos at this point.
It's interesting what you say about the basics of things like nailing down a roof. I mean, I think when people look at the risk of climate change, it can be a bit overwhelming. But you seem to be saying that try and focus on the simple things that you can easily perceive, and that goes a great way to helping.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is, I think it was mentioned before, kind of focusing on the problem that you're trying to solve, knowing what the exposures are for your particular business, and then coming up with solutions, innovative or things that may have been on the marketplace for a while. It doesn't really matter. It's really being proactive, starting with the problem and finding solutions and not getting inundated. We're all through LinkedIn and otherwise getting inundated with solution providers. And if you start with that and then start to look for a problem, then you're quickly going to run out of time. And that's probably not the most effective way to do it.
Right. And that kind of also leads us into the issue of, resilience. And as you mentioned, having different people in different areas of the organization communicating with each other to address some of these risks. And maybe you can just delve into that a little bit more. How can organizations assess and improve their resilience to all this range of risks that they face?
Well, I assume that's a question for me?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, one thing we've seen with high-performing businesses is that they really take on this philosophy that resiliency is a choice. So, and what I mean with that is that it follows proactive steps, and that the insurance policy after a loss, it doesn't necessarily make you whole. There's a potential loss of market share. There's a potential loss of reputation and stock price. So there's really a lot of business incentive to be resilient that goes beyond just the immediate, following a loss. What might be less well known is not just that resiliency is a choice, but also that it can provide a competitive advantage. So really having resilience being part of many aspects of your company and strengthening it. And there's many examples that we've seen at FM Global, going as back as early as Katrina, where we saw businesses that fared better, the businesses that well prepared. But more recently, we had flooding in Thailand, and there were hard drive manufacturers that were resilient and implemented a lot of these strategies that we recommended, and they were in business faster than their competitors. They were able to get some of that market share from their competitors. We've seen supermarkets in the South that really took the right measures, and they were the first ones to supply food to people. Now, I used to live in Florida, and those first days after a hurricane, being able to get bread and food, I mean, you create a special bond with that supermarket if it's the only one around that gives that to you. So really having resilience be a choice and seeing it as a competitive advantage, I think is a way to improve and facing the risk that you're facing.
Does that apply also? I mean, obviously, we're talking about, some of these newer risks that are coming in, or that people are having to address. So obviously, hurricanes have been something that people have dealt with for many years. But what about, like we had earlier this year, you have a cyber attack on, a power supply that shuts down a big part of the country. I mean, as an individual organization, what sort of steps can you take to build resilience for these issues that are new to you and also outside of your control to a large extent?
So our cyber resilience kind of focuses on three pieces, and again, it's all being proactive. So don't wait for it to happen to you. Be proactive, because the bad guys are starting to outpace the good guys here, right? But you got to be so you can't just wait for it to happen. The three main pillars for us when it comes to cybersecurity is physical security. Don't just have like someone walk through the front door and run out with a USB stick or with a computer. I mean, that's just basically part of your general security process. The second piece is just having your software up to date and the firewalls, and and then the third piece is is what we've been working on more recently, is the industrial control systems. And there's checklists and there's organizations that can help you become more resilient, but you gotta do it. You gotta go out there and start implementing these strategies and look outside your four walls for solutions, and make sure that you are one of the companies where people shy away from trying to attack, because they know that you have your ducks in a row when it comes to cybersecurity.
Yeah, and I think one thing to point to your question, Gavin, is I mean, in the case of the Colonial Pipeline, you have the pipeline company that was affected, but also literally everyone else was as well. So understanding if I'm an affected organization, like when I'm coming across and I'm looking to assess what risks I might have, it's solve for large categories of risk, and then understand on a more broadly basis how I can apply lessons across that to the rest of my business as well. So there's a lot that happens as a result of other risks as well to other people.
And what, from your perspective, as a risk management technology company, I mean, what sort of things are you seeing or advising your clients in terms of, building up resilience to this range of risks that they face?
Number one is utilize your organization. I think Yap was talking a bit about this, but the concept of silos within organizations is nothing new. And if you think about kind of what innovation has been driving lately, I think one of the biggest innovations we're seeing with our clients, I don't know if you'd really categorize it as an innovation, but it's support from the top of the organization. And it is truly making resilience a competitive advantage for how I'm operating my business. And by doing that, it's knocking down silos, aligning incentives to work across those silos so that we have the right people talking. That's at just a basic level. We're seeing that with a number of our clients, and it's something that technology can enable that. But if it's not ingrained in the organization, technology is not going to solve for something that a bad process is in place, or I've got walls between organizations within my company that aren't allowing us to do that. So,
right. And talking about innovation, I mean, obviously you come from companies that have won multiple innovation awards over the years. You're obviously doing a lot, but you must have a perspective on the industry in general. What are some of the kind of like interesting innovations which you are seeing that are being produced and are helping risk managers, specifically on from a technology point of view?
I'll start with that. I think that one thing you're continuing to see are tools and technology that's enabling the risk managers to spread themselves out. And meaning that typically the insurance buyer and the risk manager is fairly siloed and has to work really hard to sell throughout the organization and instill that. I think what you're seeing from a technology standpoint of things like at ORIGAMI, we use our ERM platform to allow the risk manager actually to crowdsource risks, and through the mobile apps or through just online technology, allowing me to actually reach out into the organization to actually score and control and manage risk, and actually give the front line a lot of times input into what the risks of the business are. So from that standpoint there, then again, we talked about data earlier as well. I think that's another big piece of it. You're going to continue to see vast improvements on, whether it's from an insurable standpoint, things like decentralized ledgers, of being able to tie risk data or policy data into that, for example, I think you're going to start seeing continued increase in that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Well, what about you? Where do you see kind of like interesting, innovative technology that's going to help risk managers?
Yeah, I'm an innovation technologist, so this is right up my alley. I mean, FM Global takes an engineering and science approach to risk. So historically, we've done that on fire. I think more recently, in the past decades, we've applied that to flood, global flood maps, and now you see more of that in cyber. We have our own cyber lab, right, which was the Innovation Award winner in 2020. I believe more on a granular level, some of the technologies that I'm excited about that we've been working on and rolling out are actually fairly simple. One is water leak detectors. Water leaks, domestic water leaks are still, by count, one of the #1 loss drivers for FM Global. For healthcare and education clients, it could be the #1 loss driver, both by number of occurrences as well as by aggregate amount. So having water leak sensors that operate almost similar to smoke detectors in your building can be very helpful. And there's similar systems that look at your sprinkler system, your sprinkler valves, making sure that they operate correctly. We see about 10% of our fire losses. We see impairments with the fire protection system. So the worst thing that could happen as a risk manager is invest all that money in a fire protection system and then it not working because there's a valve that's improperly closed. And then, one cool technology that I've been working on is for hot work, which is one of, welding and brazing. It's a common cost for fires. We've been working on technologies that is portable and that can put a fire and smoke watch in place after hot work. Because we see that if people or contractors come in to do hot work, if the fire gets detected right away, you're pretty much in good shape, pretty decent shape. If whoever does that hot work moves away and the fire does not get detected, we all of a sudden see that that average loss jump by 13 times the amount. So having something in place. So these are very specific and targeted technologies, but that's what I do. But I'm very excited. I think the water leak detection is something that's new. There's been a lot of focus on fire and stuff, but I think it deserves its place in the spotlight as technology that can really help resolve losses for our clients.
You see, some of the kind of like, buzzwords that you hear so much about nowadays are things like virtual reality and artificial intelligence and how they can be applied to numerous different areas of commerce. I mean, in the risk management area, are you finding those useful technologies?
To me?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so one thing with innovation that you do, I'm not sure you guys are probably familiar with the Gartner hype cycle. So technology gets hyped up and then people get disillusioned with it because it doesn't deliver. So we're constantly going that roller coaster ride with technology. So if you look at virtual reality, first of all, it's hard right now, virtual reality, if you have glasses that you want to share, because due to COVID, they're either not together or they don't want to put the glasses on that someone else just had on their nose, right? So that's just logistically an issue. But we are seeing things, AI is basically now the buzzword that's getting embedded in everything. And I think there's a good reason for that. There's definitely, advents in technology there that are making a difference. One thing that's a little bit different for us as FM Global is we're a monoline insurance and we do large commercial property. So, think of a Disney Park resort or an MIT campus. It's very different to use that data to come up with like an underwriting model through AI than if you were a car insurance and you have 60 million, sort of homogeneous clients that all can be categorized by 20 or so features. Then the AI and the model and sort of underwriting with a scalpel, whatever you want to call it, it's more effective. For us, the AI comes in more looking things like computer vision on satellite and fixed wing imagery, and doing computer vision on smoke and fire detection, and the kind of things that really help, also almost like more on the edge with our clients, rather than it using AI directly as an underwriting tool, I would say.
Okay, Ernie, what about you? What about some of these kind of like like I said, like artificial intelligence, virtual reality? Are you seeing much use of that?
We are robotics as well, and being able to tie that in just simply from kind of the Internet of Things as well, telematics. Again, kind of going back to This is a fascinating conversation, by the way, too, because I'm loving listening to Yap talking about these very pointed ways of saving big dollars. Because in my mind, I'm thinking in large scale data and ways of across an all enterprise. So it's fascinating to listen to him speak about some of these solutions that he's dealing with as well. But on the data standpoint, though, what you're seeing and the insurance industry in general, from a data transmission standpoint, has miles to go just to catch up with where we are on a kind of a baseline. And we're seeing that. We're working with a number of carriers right now on more real-time data integration, as well as a big point of that's going to drive that. Like I've talked about before, I've got a couple of clients, one specifically that's a more advanced technology related risk manager that is really pushing hard on really the tokenization of data on a distributed ledger, on being able to associate that across organizations. And I find it just fascinating on where we can be able to take this. So I think over time, on a macro standpoint, you're going to continue to see us with large improvements there. But we do have a ways to go.
We touched on this earlier, noting that not only do you need collaboration across different sectors within an organization, you also need to recruit people. And as we know, it can be a tough job market in some areas at the moment. How are you managing to do that? Where are you finding the people you need, and what sort of skills are you looking for bringing people into the organization to address some of these issues? Maybe you could talk about that.
Yeah, personally, I don't have a ton of people reporting to me, so I don't have that issue in terms of the hiring. I know from the coworkers that there's when you look at data analytics and AI and those kind of roles, it's hard to hire. So a lot of times what we do is either hire people early or from adjacent fields. So there's some scientific fields. We have a lot of PhD scientists that have just done data analytics, but perhaps on an adjacent field, and then we just cross-train them into FM Global. One thing to keep in mind is a lot of these skills and technologies are fairly new. So hiring someone with a lot of experience from 10, 20 years ago is not necessarily going to do you a lot of good. So you might as well hire someone who's just generally smart and learns fast, and then get that person up to speed as on the AI data analytics, as well as the the internal workings of our business, and then combining that to deliver value. But yeah, I think if you try to address it head on and say, I want a data analyst, and you want someone that ticks up all the boxes, you're going to be fighting for fishing in a small pond, and then you're going to be paying dearly. For sure.
Right. Ernie, you obviously have a lot of tech people at your company. Are they bringing, for these new skills that are coming in, are you having to do anything different to recruit?
Yes, we're always evolving that, and it is very much a team effort at Origami. It's an entire company focus. Quite simply, we want to make Origami somewhere that someone would rather be instead of the alternative, and we work really hard at doing that. We want, and I'm sure similar to the FM Global, the folks we hire are very technical. They're very good with people. A lot of them are very client facing as well, and in high demand. And at their core, like any of us, they want to be successful and they want to be really good at their job. And so it's incumbent on us as those of us managing the business to put them in a position to be successful and give them the tools they need and the autonomy they need in order to make our clients happy and then be successful in their own right. So a lot of it comes down to just some of the basics of that. And then there's very much it's very competitive out there. So we're constantly keeping tabs on what the market is bearing and what the competitive pressures are and that kind of thing. But we don't always get it right, but we work pretty hard, and it's a constant focus of ours.
Okay, great. Now, looking forward, perhaps maybe you could speculate a little bit about the kind of technology and innovation into the future. Where do you see your particular area of the insurance sector, insurance and risk management sector going? Say in 5 years' time, would it be very different from where we are today? Yeah, what would you say?
Oh, sorry.
Would it be very different? People tend to sometimes overestimate how different it will be, right? Typically, these are the people that try to sell you, the consulting that goes with it to make that difference. I think what you see is a general drive towards digitization of processes, especially FM Global is nearly 200 years old. So we're in that process now, transforming our business. And I think what will happen from that is that it will open up pathways to start using data better and more effectively. Now, again, we have that problem that we have very complicated risk, complicated clients. So it's not going to be a silver bullet where you just, you know, some AI sucks in the data and gives you all the answers you need. You know, we're not there, and I'm not sure if that's where we want. That's not our vision. But there are a lot of ways that we can improve, you know, and use digital tools to become more efficient and to make sure that our recommendations are consistent across the board and so forth. So I think it's a digitization layer and then everything that follows from it. Really, you're going to just do more of that in the next 5 years.
So it's not like suddenly there's going to be a new alternative to fire suppression. It's just going to be a better fire suppression system.
Well, I mean, if I can go to, so if we go diverge and converge, right? So if I go narrow again, like one of my personal projects that I love that I'm working on is using robotics for confined space entries, because we have a lot of engineers and their clients have a lot of engineers and inspectors that go inside spaces, inside confined spaces. Are one of the most dangerous things you can do inside if you don't do it properly and by code and following the proper procedures. And there's robotic tools right now that can do those inspections for you. So in the terms of robotics, there's a lot of interesting stuff happening, but more in like more in a macroscopic sense. It's all becomes that data that you get from it and what you do with that. That's probably on a larger level more relevant.
Right. So you're going to have like as we would imagine, like a small robot just going in and doing stuff which would be very much more difficult for a person to do.
Yeah, my former coworker of mine said, I just want a backpack and some spider thing crawls out, goes through the device, gets you all the picture, and you say, come here, and climbs back into your backpack, and then you can go. I mean, we're a long ways away from that, but certainly there's no need for us to crawl through things and get exposed when all we need to do is get our eyeballs in something. I mean, there's cameras out there that have many times more pixels than we have rods and cones on our own retina, so we can start capturing that data better. We can archive it better, and that also again opens up then subsequently ways to do computer vision and AI and stuff on the back end in the future to do some more with that data than just have it inspected by humans.
Right. Ernie, what about you? Where do you see us going?
I concur very much what Yap was saying as well. I think just basically the basics a lot of times comes down to just connectivity between organizations or between two sources of data. The buzzword you hear quite a bit is the idea of an ecosystem as well. I think there are a lot of different organizations within, especially the risk and insurance area, working hard on standardizing in a way that we can start enabling some sort of ecosystem so that the end user, or even the policyholder, or that or folks serving the policyholder can actually aggregate a lot of this data that's being pulled from a lot of things that Yap's talking about there. Just what am I doing at the point of risk, and what data do I need that can help me make larger, broad-scale decisions across that? So I know I keep going back to the same point, but I think that's going to be the name of the game for what we're focused on for a while.
And again, that goes back to what you were saying about, you have a risk manager who this basically needs more resources from data as opposed to in the past when they may have had, a room full of helpers to do that. It's now they're much more reliant on technology to help them do that.
Definitely.
I mean, obviously, risk managers face budget constraints. Are they? Is that an issue?
We see it from time to time. We are seeing more investment, though, however, in it, namely around areas of resilience. If you start talking about, a lot of the insurable risk managers that you and I have dealt with for years, Gavin, and know a lot of them have additional responsibilities now, especially coming out of the last couple of years, of things like really looking from a third-party risk management standpoint or vendor risk management and digging into supply chains and understanding from a more operational standpoint that aren't necessarily insurable risks, but they're being asked to take that on. So you're seeing that enable and help budgets a lot. And I think it's giving a lot more attention from the board as well.
Great, excellent. Well, thank you very much. I think that was a great discussion. We covered a lot of issues there. We really appreciate the time and effort that you've taken to provide us with these insights. So now let's go back and hear from more of our award winners.
Hi, I'm Gabriel Glenn. I'm the co-founder and CEO of MakeYouSafe. For the last 5 years, MakeYouSafe has existed to help make workplaces safer. And we've been working with insurance carriers, partners, agencies, loss control specialists to deploy our product at locations across the US and now in Mexico. On behalf of the 25 employees here at MakeYouSafe, we're so honored and so grateful for the award from Business Insurance. Thank you so much for making us a 2021 Innovation Award winner. Some of the most exciting things that have come out of the last year and working with this technology and working with the insurance partners is that across companies that have deployed MakeYouSafe, we're seeing a more than 50% reduction in claims, and of the claims that are coming through, a more than 90% reduction in the severity of those claims, which ultimately at the end of the day means more people are safer and they're able to go home to their families at the end of the day. So again, thank you so much for this recognition. We're so grateful, and we appreciate all that the insurance industry is doing to help foster new technology like MakeYouSafe. God bless.
I would like to thank Business Insurance for the recognition of the innovative work done by Marsh surrounding resiliency over the past year. The risk resiliency diagnostic, while born from the imperative of the pandemic, was really driven in response and recognition of the changing nature and quality of risk facing global organizations today. Indeed, while traditional risk management tools remain necessary, we would argue that they're no longer entirely sufficient to address the nature of emerging risks, their impacts across our clients' value chains, and indeed the systemic nature of risk faced by many organizations today, be it from cyber threats, climate, geopolitical forces, or other emerging risks. I would especially like to thank those that were central to the realization of the vision of this opportunity and the value that we've created for our clients. The list is certainly long, but those most central to the effort were Lexi Gallucci, Alex Fulton, Sandeep Devarde, Abhishek Vasta, Lucas Reynolds, Stacy Sefcik, and Hans von Hucklem. Again, thank you to Business Insurance and the risk managers who selected Marsh for this award and the recognition that goes with it. Thank you.
Hi there, my name's Andrew Barrett-Clough, and I'm the VP for Insurance Partnerships here at eDriving. Firstly, we'd like to thank Business Insurance for giving us this fantastic award to recognise the innovation brought to the market by our Mentor app. We've worked for a number of years to develop what we now believe is a market-leading solution to enable our clients to improve their driving behaviour and road safety. We've made great strides in helping the clients of our insurance and broker partners improve the way they manage their motor risk. Most of all, we're proud of the way we can positively engage drivers through the gamification features of our app so that they understand and really buy into safer driving, helping us to fulfill our mission of getting drivers home safely at the end of each day. So a little bit more about the Mentor app. Mentor is a smartphone-based telematics app which measures driving behaviours including phone distraction. By using accelerometers and sensors in the phone, no other hardware is required, making adoption and usage for clients both easy and cost-effective. The app also comes with a range of special new features, including Eco Drive, that shows drivers just how eco-friendly their driving is and reminds them that smooth, defensive driving is sustainable eco-driving. Also, thanks to a partnership with Bosch and Safara, Mentor includes automatic crash detection. This feature triggers a voice call to the driver in the local language from one of Bosch's global centres supporting over 50 countries. Active confirmation of an emergency or no response from the driver will trigger sending of emergency services to the scene. Also, Mentor includes personal SOS that allows drivers to silently initiate a call for help while driving, walking, riding public transport, or whenever they feel unsafe or unwell. Finally, our new Crash Pack feature that generates technical collision information and a 2D reconstruction after a crash, a feature of particular interest to our insurance partners when it comes to fraud prevention. For me, it's these types of continuous innovation that I really feel have earned us this award. Finally, I'd like to thank our teams across the globe who've worked tirelessly to bring Mentor to life and to continuously improve it. Without you, we wouldn't have been able to be here doing the great work for our clients. So thank you so much for your hard work. If you'd like to get in touch about how we can help you or your clients, please don't hesitate. Many thanks.
Big thanks to Business Insurance for recognizing Swiss Re Corporate Solutions Parametric HAL product during the 2021 Innovation Awards. We're really proud of this product and the capability that it provides our clients to recover more quickly after a severe hailstorm has hit their locations. We're really excited that this product is available in the market, and we look forward to seeing where it can go in the coming months and years. A special thanks to my other colleagues internally who made this product launch possible, along with our collaborators at CoreLogic. Finally, thank you to the judges who selected us for this award, and congratulations to all the other nominees in this category.
Thank you very much, Megan. My name is Cole Mayer with the Swiss Re Corporate Solutions Parametric HAL team. First of all, thank you very much for the award. We're thrilled to be here and thrilled to have won it. Congratulations to all the other nominees. Very impressive group. We at Swiss Re, really our core mission is to decrease the protection gap using innovative methods and ways. And this is one of those, certainly one of those efforts on the parametric HAL side. So very excited to win this particular award as well. A special thanks to our data provider, CoreLogic, along with all of our broker partners and certainly our clients as well for taking this journey with us. And we're excited to continue the journey.
Hi, this is Leah Cooper, Managing Director of Global Consumer Technology here at Sedgwick.
I'm Jennifer DeSmet, Vice President, Client Services at Sedgwick.
On behalf of the many Sedgwick colleagues who contributed to our response to California Senate Bill 1159, we thank you so much for this recognition. What made Sedgwick's SB 1159 response so effective for the employer community was our team's ability to quickly assemble and merge operations, technology, and communications expertise and resources.
In September of 2020, new legislation was signed into law in California. The enactment of Senate Bill 1159 impacted every employer doing business in California and dictated the reporting of positive COVID-19 test results at each of their work locations. In addition to the required reporting, the bill demanded specific outbreak calculations and subsequent presumption application to associated claims. Sedgwick was able to use our technology to provide a flexible and configurable platform to easily intake our clients' COVID cases, as well as to identify potential COVID outbreaks in accordance with these new legislations. We were able to provide the solution in less than 2 weeks.
Our approach at Sedgwick to global technology has always been people first, tech forward. Using this as our guiding principle, we were able to provide a solution that enabled our clients to stay focused on their business operations, take additional safety measures as needed, and stay compliant with these new regulations. Today, we have more than 2,000 clients using the reporting tool across our book of business for their California locations.
Thank you, Business Insurance, for recognizing the hard work and dedication that went into developing and implementing this response to California's Senate Bill 1159. We're proud to represent the many colleagues this award honors.
Good afternoon, good evening. My name is Mach Millett. I am the Chief Innovation Officer of Marsh's Financial and Professional Unit, and also the leader of our SPAC and DSPAC practice. here this evening to accept the Business Insurance Award for our SPAC D&O insurance policy. Thought about dressing up for the occasion, but let's be honest with ourselves, we've all in one way or another been in a red hoodie for the last 20 months or so. So certainly appreciate everyone attending. We found ourselves in the fall, early winter of 20 through 21, facing a significantly hardening insurance market for D&O insurance for SPACs, and we knew we needed to find a solution for our clients in order to continue to provide them with adequate insurance protection, but also keep costs somewhat within a reasonable range. We therefore put together a product that was more tailored to the SPAC and de-SPAC life cycle, that protected the officers and directors of the SPAC throughout the life cycle, and provided our insureds with a significant premium savings in the meantime. It has been a very successful product. We have bound approximately 50 of those policies to date, and certainly has been well accepted by the insurance marketplace and also by our clients. Just wanted to say thank you to the Business Insurance and the panel of judges, first of all. Thank you also to Marsh. I came over to Marsh 11 years ago from legal practice as a defense lawyer, and certainly want to thank in particular Michelle Sartain and Damian Brew for convincing me to leave private practice and come to Marsh. It has been a wonderful experience. Also want to thank our market partners on the insurance side. We have had a great primary market relationship with this product and really appreciate the collaboration of the insurer and the folks at that insurer. And also want to thank the excess insurers who have agreed to follow that program and participate. Finally, I want to thank our SPAC team. We have had a group of really hardworking people on this team who have made the last 2 years a tremendous success. I would thank each one of you, but I would be concerned that you would then hear from the other brokers reaching out to try to poach you from our team. So just know from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate all your hard work, blood, sweat, and tears, and thank you very much. And thank you all for attending. Appreciate it.
Hi, I'm Dave Lupinski, Vice President of Digital Health and Innovation at CORVEL Corporation. On behalf of CORVEL, I want to thank Business Insurance for this award. The issue of chronic pain and how best to manage it isn't specific to workers' compensation. It's become a major healthcare concern. While the opioid epidemic has shown us what not to do for chronic pain, looking for new ways to help manage this patient population has become a passion project of mine. As a Division I college wrestler, I was allowed the opportunity to work with a sports psychologist. At that time, a lot of the stigmas around behavioral health were stripped away, as I found a greater benefit as an athlete from the mental work we did than the physical work for strength and conditioning. Unfortunately, those years of wrestling also took a toll on my back, and 6 years ago, I suffered an injury that required a back surgery and left a permanent neurologic deficit in my left leg. Being in chronic pain can affect your entire outlook on life, and I'm thankful for the tools available to me to facilitate both a physical and mental recovery. It's truly an honor to get to help to pass these gifts on to other patients. As we have talked about the biopsychosocial model for some time in workers' compensation, it's great to be able to leverage telehealth and to build out a virtual functional restoration program that focuses on interdisciplinary biopsychosocial care. Thank you again.
At Origami, we're different. We simplify risk and insurance so you make better decisions. Our cloud-based single platform has a full suite of risk and insurance solutions. With one platform, you can do it all.
Profiles of all of our 2021 Innovation Award winners are featured on businessinsurance.com and in our Innovation and Technology issue publishing later this week. You can download a copy of this issue on bi.com. Please be sure to check it out. I'd now like to thank our 2021 Innovation Award sponsors, QBE, Origami Risk, CORVEL Corporation, and Swiss Re. A sincere thank you to all of our sponsors.
Hi, I'm Stephen Acunto Jr. Thank you for attending our Innovation Awards today. We hope you enjoyed our virtual program, and we look forward to celebrating in person soon. Thank you again to our esteemed speakers, our colleagues, and our friends. We also would like to thank our sponsors and partners who continue to support us in all that we do and all that we do for the industry together, especially in these challenging but exciting times. We encourage you to read more about the winners, view the on-demand version of this event, and read up on all the news that we publish on our platform, businessinsurance.com. Thank you again, and congratulations to the winners. Cheers.